Fairy Tale Rocket Ballpark for the 81st season of Humboldt baseball. Today the Cavs welcome the Fresno A's to the final game of the three-game series. And now the starting lineup brought to you by Compass Community Credit Union and the North Coast Co-op, starting with the visiting. Batting cleanup for the A's, number 33, designated hitter, Hayes Edens. Batting fifth, number 34, first baseman, Parker Crystal. Batting seventh, number 2, right fielder, Luke Ray. Batting eighth, number 9, second baseman, Brian Sanders the second. And on the mound for the A's from Belmont Abbey College, number 6, pitcher Nate Carrillo. The A's are managed by Wyatt Featherston and coached by Ethan Winter. And now the starting lineup for your Humboldt Crab. Next second, number 5, catcher Liam Forsyth. Batting third, number 11, second baseman Cameron Seal. Batting cleanup for the Crabs, number 16, right fielder Adam Enyard. Batting fifth, number 13, shortstop Michael Perazzo. Batting seventh for the Crabs, number 24, first baseman Caden Lee. Batting eighth, number 2, left fielder Nolan Hamilton. And on the mound for your Humboldt Crabs, number 8, from Central Arizona University, Guzleta. Crabs are managed by Robin Geiger, coached by Eric Ciccone, John Bryant, and fans, please rise if able and remove your hats for the performance of the national anthem by the world famous Crabgrass Band. Arcata City Council, accompanied by Shoshana.
Alrighty, good early afternoon, everybody. Jarrett Smith, play-by-play announcer for the Fresno A's, and here we are in Arcata, California. By far the most beautiful day of baseball we've had this weekend. And that is the beauty of having a matinee day game on the coast. Is that fog is cleared out, clear skies, nice and sunny, low 60s, and it's a beautiful day here for baseball. A's have dropped their first few games of this series, both in rather disappointing ways. The game was an absolute blowout, 14-0 Friday night. And last night they were leading for most of the second half of the game, but ended up getting off in the bottom of the 10th inning with a base hit out to right center field. And a stark difference has really been the batting of both teams. The Crabs cooled off a little bit last night. They only went 4 for 30, but their series average thus far is a 258, 17, 66. As opposed to the A's, they were 5 for 31 on Friday, 4 for 29 last night, adding up to 9 for 60, which is a 150 batting average, and that is most certainly not going to get it done when you're playing stiff competition such as the Crabs. So they will be looking to get those bats swinging and bats alive, and it's going to be a bit of a different lineup here today for the A's. Ethan Wood exited the game in the middle part last night after pulling a hamstring, so he is out, and we certainly wish him well and a speedy recovery as he is nursing that hamstring. So take a look at the lineup. Smith leading off as usual. Second, Tyson Miller remains there. He's at center field. Mikey Ramirez moves up in the lineup. He'll be batting third, and he's the left fielder. Cleanup hitter Edens. He's been in that spot the past couple games. He is DH today, though. He is not behind the dish. Parker Cristall was batting ninth last night, had 2 doubles, big doubles. So he gets up in the lineup, and he's going to be in the field today. He will be the first baseman. Luke Devon batting sixth at third base, batting seventh, Reed, the right fielder, batting eighth, Brian Sanders, the second baseman, looking to get things going here. And rounding out the lineup is Julian Rodriguez. He is the captain for today's game. So here we go. George Smith leading things off, and Zazueta is the pitcher for the Crabs. Another left-hander out of their rotation. First pitch to George Smith is up high, 4-1. Smith has been a great hitter for the A's this season, but this series he has yet to get a hit. He is 0 for 6. But even with 0 for 6, his batting average is a 324 on the season. Count is 2-0 to Smith. Zazueta's pitch on the way upstairs and out, ball 3. So quickly an advantageous count here for George Smith. We'll see if he is going to be swinging at any pitching strike zone or taking all the way. 3-0 pitch on the way. It is upstairs, out once again. 4-pitch walk there for George Smith. And that is the way to lead things off here for the A's if they want to get going here early. They still have yet to be the first score in a game or have a lead in quite a few games. I do believe that might have been against the Menlo Park Legends, which is way in the rearview mirror now. Anyways, first pitch, that is the first strike of the game for Zazueta. He gets one in there on Tyson Miller. Miller, the center fielder, has been hot to start things off with his tenure with the A's this season, although it was his first hitless game last night. And he skies this one out to right center field. That should be hanging up enough for the center fielder to get it. He does. Moss traps that one in, throws it in. That's the first out of the ball game. So here comes Mikey Ramirez. We've seen him usually in the lower half of the lineup, either batting fifth or sixth, but today getting promoted to the 3 spot. He has been one of the best hitters on the team by far. This series, he's 2 for 8, so that is 250 average. First pitch to him is a strike there. But on the season, he is still north of 400. He's batting .410 on the year. Very impressive stuff. The 1 pitch taken, that's a ball. 1-1. Sweet throwing over to first base. George Smith is in there plenty easy, so he is safe. Sweet gets set now, taking another peek over at George Smith. Now he comes home to Ramirez. Pitch is outside. Ball 2. So Zueta's having a little bit of trouble finding that strike zone early in this game. George Smith on the move down to second. He's going to be in there very easily. That's a stolen base for him. Smith's at second now. That pitch was a ball. 3-1. Good count here for Ramirez to do something with. Sueta taking another look at George Smith. Now he comes home. This pitch is ball 4 on the outside part of the corner. So 2 walks here and 3 batters for Zueta, and the infielder, second baseman, and catcher are going to take this moment to just have a quick little breather. They're pitching to get him going here because he is a lot of balls out there right now. It's not a good start for him. Runners on first and second. However, possibility of turning 2 hits. Hayes eats the DH, now stepping in for the Athletics. Usually catching, but he is DH today. Strike 1 is the call to him to start out his at-bat. Eaton's having a tough time here in Humboldt as well. Of course, that is a theme for the Fresno Athletics, but he has not recorded a hit. He is 0 for 6. His season average, however, is .304. Solid batting average there. There goes George Smith on the third, but that one is fouled back. So George Smith will have to return to second base. First time in this inning of work here for Zueta that he has gotten ahead of a batter. Now he's going to check back to George Smith. That one thrown to the outfield, though. He's going to stay at second base. Definitely looked like they had George Smith leaning there and could have put the tag on, but throw was just a little errant. And George Smith gets potentially bailed out on that one. Now Zueta comes home to Eden's 0-2, swung on and missed. Looked like it could have been a changeup. Strike 3. First strikeout for Zueta, and now there are 2 down in this inning. All right, Parker Crystal up to bat. He has been one of the better players for the Athletics in this series. 2 for 6. two doubles last night, and one of them was looking like it was going to get out of here, but that chain link monster gobbled it up. Either way, big hits last night, and first pitch he sees is a strike. And he remains a solid bet to get on base for this athletics team. He has a 389 batting average. Big spot hit for here. Big spot for him to potentially get one in, but this one gets fouled way out of the ballpark. 0-2. Zueta is ahead 0-2 here. One pitch from getting out of this inning scot-free. Pitch on the way. Down low, ball one. So Zueta steps off the mound there and started walking towards second base, almost like he was going to throw it, but at the same time try and get closer. I don't know. Very strange behavior on that one. It looks like he's still trying to settle his nerves out there, but either way, he has gotten into pitcher's counts here, these last two batters. That one's chopped to the shortstop, going to be a tricky play. Throw on the run, pulls the first baseman off the back a little bit, but he can still gets put on the back. That's the end of the inning. So a recurring theme continues here for the Athletics, getting some base runners on base, but unable to cash them in. So 0-0. Pretty good.
Again, on the Humboldt Crabs YouTube channel, stream and record every game on YouTube.
Okay.
You can also
Here
like
in the
just
in between innings. There we go. That's going to be the last pitch. And speaking of pitches, the pitcher on the mound is Nathan Carrillo today. He gets the start. It'll be his second start of the year. 8 innings season. He has given up 5 runs, but only 3 of them were earned. Only walked 2 batters, struck out 15. Good strikeout to walk ratio there for a 2.41 ERA and the opponent batting average 176. Certainly been one of the better pitchers on the athletic staff so far this year, and he dots that one low in the dirt, ball one. Leadoff batter for the Crabs is Morris. He has done that in all 3 games of this series. He plays third base from here locally in Eureka, and he's had himself a darn good series at that. This one he fouls out of play, 1-1. Gets reset in the box. Correa is ready to go on the mound. Gets into his windup 1-1 pitch on the way. Chops, but foul once again. Oh, sorry, folks. I'm putting the count where the run should be. Visibility is a little tough here with the sun out today. Screen is pretty dark, and I have the brightness all the way cranked up on my laptop. But anyways, there we go. 1-2 is the count, not the score. Long pause there in between that foul ball and digging back in. But here we go, 1-2. Pitch on the way upstairs, 2-2. Methodical wind up there for Carrillo. That was a curveball that gets in on Morris's hands. Crystal takes the ball himself over to first base, and there's the first out of this inning. So with one down, the catcher Forsyth coming up for the Crabs. He did not play in yesterday's game, but did play in the first game of this series. We'll take a look how he did on that Friday game as he fouls this one back 0-1. He was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, and he also did score twice. So solid outing for him on Friday and looking to continue much of the same today. Wind is blowing out towards left field, so perhaps there will be some extra help from that ocean breeze to get balls over that chain link monster. 0-1 pitch, fouled right back to the screen, 0-2 now. It's always entertaining to see fans flinch when the ball's coming right at them, but the screen is right there. It's understandable. It's almost just uncontrollable when you think that fast-moving object is coming right at you, even though you know that screen's in front of you. Here we go, 0-2. Good location on that pitch, but umpire doesn't go for it, 1-2. You could tell Carrillo wanted that one, but no go from the umpire. Comes back with 1-2. This one upstairs, foul back. And it hit something. I don't know what. You heard the whoo from the fans right there. That's the first time I've heard a resounding thud this weekend. It was only a matter of time. There's so many cars in perilous areas, honestly, compared to the ballpark and all sorts of stuff. It's amazing how these foul balls have been finding open gaps. But not that one. Anyways, 1-2 once again. Carrillo in his wind-up pitch on the way. Blows a heater by him. Strike 3. 2 down in the inning.
Jordan, can you do something?
So second baseman Sewell up to bat. This is his first game in this series. Second baseman in previous games has been Lombardi, so day off for him today, unless he's potentially pinch hits later. First pitch into Sewell, strike one. Rio nods yes to the call on the pitch and dots a strike, dots a fastball, but it's not called a strike, 1-1. One and one on the way. That's a curveball called strike on the inside part of the plate. So yet another favorable count for Carrillo here. Looking for a 1-2-3 inning, and it's not going to be on that pitch. That one is spiked in the dirt. Good block there from Rodriguez. 2-2 will be the count. If he does get this out right here, this would be the first 1-2-3 inning to start a game for the A's in this series, and they'd certainly like that. And this one is yanked a mile high, way into right field, but this ballpark's going to hold it. Luke Ree is under it. Sewell just got too much under that pitch. If he had squared it up, that's likely out of here. But thankfully for the A's, it's not. It's just a long, high fly out to right field. So there we go. 1, 2, 3. They go down in the bottom of the first. A's get back up for their at-bats in the top second.
For the second inning, from Franklin Pierce University, number 12, third baseman, Miguel.
That was the Crabgrass Band that is here at the Humboldt Crabs games. They weren't a feature of yesterday's game. Navad hits this one way deep to left field, but it's going to be wrangled in by the left fielder. That's one out. Batter's getting a hold of balls early in this game, but this ballpark is holding them for now. That was a fly out to left field for Navad, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Luke Ree. Curveball that doesn't break down into the zone, 1-0, the count to Ree. Ree 1 for 8 this series, and overall on the season struggling with hitting. He is 2-11, but the season still is young. This is game 13 of 44 for the Athletics, so plenty of ball ahead. Squares to butt. No, he doesn't. Pulls it back. That's a ball, 2-1. Zazueta's 2-1 pitch on the way, yet another off speed that he's not able to get in front of, and it slips away from him 3-1. Threw one pitch, swung on and missed on the outside part of the plate. That might have been ball 4, but 3-2 instead for Ree. 3-2 payoff, swung on and missed on the off speed. Ree is cut down, strikeout, and 2 down here quickly for the A's. Second strikeout for Zazueta, and here comes Brian Sanders, the second baseman for the A's. It's been a struggle for him in his opening games here for the Athletics. This is his 5th game of play, so 4 games under his belt thus far. And in this series, he is 0 for 8, striking out 5 out of those 8 at-bats, and only has 1 recorded hit on the season for a 0.71 average. But nobody denies his talent. We're just waiting for him to heat up here. He's in a 1-1 count after that swing and a miss. Digging back in, Zazueta's already ready on the rubber. And here he comes with the pitch, swung on and missed in the dirt, 1-2. On deck batter, if we get to him, is Julian Rodriguez. He rounds out the bottom of his lineup. 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Sanders watches that go by, 2-2. This one outside, catcher couldn't catch it, 3-2. Purely theoretical, but curious if that might have been a strike call if the catcher caught it, but trying to reach out and then dropping out of your glove is never a good look for a potential strike call. Most likely it was a ball either way. So full count, 3-2, hammered out to left field. Deep on the run is the center fielder, but he gets under it, catches it. Sanders this ballpark is too big to, and holds that one in. So end of the inning, they go down to 4. On the second.
People shout out to welcome your family in left field. Let's go shout out that reads, "Hey Timmy, I didn't see you do the birdie yesterday. Can you do it again?" Birdie. College in 16 right fielder Adam Enyard.
Bottom of the second, Crabs back up to bat. It is going to be the 4, 5, 6 batters who have been productive for them thus far in this series. Enyart, Moss, and Peraza. First pitch Enyart sees is downstairs. If you recall from Friday, Enyart was the batter that hit not one but two home runs out of this ballpark. But not on that one as he watches the pitch go by for a strike. Chop two, George Smith at short. Scoops it up, throws it over to first in time for the first out of this inning. It's going to be the center. Mr. Grand Slam in Friday's game that just blew up that one. First pitch he sees, drops in, slider for a strike. Oh, 1 pitch, chopped at foul out of play. Oh, 2 pitch misses low and outside, 1-2. And swung on and missed there. He slowed him down and was too fast with the swing ahead of it. Strikeout for Moss. Second strikeout of the game for Carrillo. And 5 up, 5 down so far for his outing with the shortstop Peraza coming in. Peraza was 1 for 4 last night, getting on base 3 times, however. 1 for 3, actually, pardon me. 1 for 3, got on base 3 times, including a triple in the 4th inning. First pitch he sees of this at-bat is a strike. Pitch number 2 misses way outside, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is chopped over to Brian Sanders at second, who picks it up, throws it over to Crystal at first. And yet another 1-2-3 inning. The Athletics. Refreshing change for them as they are getting outs here quick and early instead of finding themselves in an early hole. So quickly, we move on to the top of the third. Athletics looking to win this game on board.
Top of the third inning, batting for the Fresno A's from Metro State University, number 44, catcher, Julian Rodriguez.
Here for the A's, and the first one being Julian Rodriguez, the catcher for today's game. First pitch he sees called strike, perhaps a bit high and inside. Rodriguez did not start either Friday or Saturday, but he did make an appearance in last night's game, getting an at bat, substituting Hayes Edens. He swung and missed at that one. 0-2 is the count for him now. And quickly, as Zueda comes home, that one misses outside, though, 1-2. Another pitch on the way, misses upstairs, 2-2. Zueda working quickly here with his pitches, but perhaps too quick as he has thrown 3 consecutive balls here, and Rodriguez has found himself in a full count after being down 0-2. Zueda shakes yes into his windup. Pitch on the way, 3-2. Drops a curveball, but it doesn't drop enough. Rodriguez has a leadoff walk here to start things off in the top of the third. And we rotate to the lineup. George Smith, shortstop, is up to bat. He himself had a leadoff walk in the first inning, getting as far as second base on a stolen base. Chopped at foul, almost hits Tyson Miller in the on-deck circle, but thankfully he was able to avoid it. Oh, and 1 to count to Smith. Zueda taking a peek over at first, but he comes home, swung on and missed. He slowed him down with the changeup there, 0-2. Zueda goes over to first base, checks on Rodriguez, but he's back in there quite easily safe. Early on in this game, he has certainly been paying a lot of attention to the base runners. Here he comes, 0-2. It's called a ball, back pick attempt, not in time. Rodriguez is safe. They were really getting after those base runners early in this game. I know I just said that, but there we go. Look at that. Pickoff attempt once again. So we had a pickoff attempt, then a back pick from the catcher, and yet another pickoff attempt. And only 1 pitch has been thrown in those 3 events. Pitch on the way, breaks a curveball in on George Smith. He watches it go by, and he will go take a seat. Backwards K for him, 3rd of the game for Zueda. Tyson Miller is now the batter. Not sure what's going on here. It's time called umpire looking towards the backstop. I'm going to try and take a peek at what they're looking at here. I really don't know. Looks like Crab's coach is at the backstop making an adjustment to equipment, maybe. Hard to tell from my angle. Very strange, but it looks like we're going to be getting set here to resume play. All right, so after that odd pause in action, we are back. Tyson Miller is digging in for his second at-bat of the game and looked to lay down a bunt, but didn't, and it's a called strike on the pitch. Miller's first time up, he flew out to center field. It was one that had really good contact on it, but just got under it too much, and it hung up for far too long. Second pitch he sees, chopped over to the third baseman. It eats Morris's lunch and dinner. He won't get it. And Miller is over at first. If I said Miller, I meant Morris for the third baseman there for the Crabs. But Miller reaches first base on an E5. They call it a hot corner for a reason, and you just saw a prime example of that. Rodriguez over at second on that now, and for the second time in 3 innings, the A's have 2 runners on base. This time looking to change their fortunes in the series and cash in some runs. First pitch, Mikey sees upstairs, ball 1. Mikey's first time up, he was able to draw a walk. Here comes the pitch, grounded to the shortstop. This could be 2. Backhand over. Oh, that throws offline, so it won't be 2. Shortstop Perazo scooped it over to the second baseman. The second baseman airmailed it. Thankfully for the Crabs, first baseman was able to wrangle it in before it went towards the A's dugout. But that keeps this inning alive here. Rodriguez is at second. Ramirez is at first on the fielder's choice. Miller was out at second. Here's Hayes Edens. There goes Ramirez. That one hits him, so that's not going to be a stolen base. Edens gets hit on the first pitch of the at-bat he sees. Bases are juiced now for the Athletics.
Go. The run from third base to home plate is the 10th play lineup on the third base side, and it's a nice 5 run.
And here's the man that was able to cash in some runs for the Athletics last night, Parker Crystal. Hit a double in the right center gap for his first one, and his second one off left. He's not going to do that again here for his team. First pitch, he sees downstairs 1-0. His first time up in this game, he grounded out to the shortstop, Perazo. Second pitch he sees catches the low outside corner, 1-1. One pitch. He checks his swing. Catcher was, umpire with the late appeal, but there was no way he went, and the first base umpire agrees with that. So 2-1 the count as Crystal was able to check his swing. Says, way to in the windup again since bases are loaded. Here he comes. Chopped up the middle. Is it going to get through? Flip over to second base. No, just in time. That one was hit towards the 4-6 hole. Not fast enough as the shortstop flipped that onto the second baseman, and they are in trouble in this inning. 3 runners left on base for the A's here, 5 total in the game thus far, and it is still 0-0 as we go down to the bottom.
Okay. The first base side. Look for it in front of the bleachers. The Crabs water filtration station was donated by Crabs superfan Amy and Stephen Bonner of Alchemy Construction. Thank you, Amy and Steve. Now batting for the Humboldt Crabs from Simpson University, number 24, first baseman, Caden Lee.
So far, but a lot more work to be done with this Crabs lineup that has been hitting the ball fairly well. First baseman Lee is the first batter due up for the Crabs here at 7-8-9. Lee, Hamilton, Rogers. Rio's first pitch of the third misses upstairs, 0-1. Lee's first at-bat of this game yesterday struck out 3 times, but did walk once. 2-0 the count to him now. Upstairs 3-0. Carrillo in trouble early for this at-bat. Comes home. This one is going to be called a strike, 3-1. One of the most classic things in baseball with the pitcher being up 3-0 is the last in a strike to at least get a strike in that count there. Seen it plenty of times in my days of playing. And even major leagues. That one is filthy, though. Carrillo went with the slider on the outside part of the plate, and Lee could not touch it. 3-2. Full count, payoff pitch, and Lee chases that one upstairs. Strikeout. His ticket is punched, and back to the dugout he goes. 1 down. Up 3-0 count. Third strikeout for Carrillo. 1 down. It's the left fielder, Hamilton, digging into the plate. Did not start on Friday, but did start yesterday's game. And, of course, as we can see, starting today's game, he takes the first pitch upstairs, ball 1. And recap for his day yesterday: strikeout, sacrifice fly RBI, strikeout, and walked. Pitch in there for a strike, 1-1. Rio in his windup. That one is downstairs in the dirt, picked up by Rodriguez. The 2-1 pitch upstairs. Hamilton lays off it, 3-1. Similar pitch to what Lee struck out swinging on there, but Hamilton with good discipline to lay off the high sneaky cheese. 1 pitch is down the pipe, called strike, 3-2. 2 batters to start off this inning, 2 full counts. First one ended in a strikeout. Let's see how this one ends, as Carrillo's windup is on the way. Foul back to the screen. Another 3-2 on the way. Gets him. Look and sit down. Strikeout. 2 in a row for Carrillo and 4 on the afternoon. And here comes Rogers, the 9-hitter. He is the DH for today's game. He was also the DH on Friday, but was on the bench yesterday, but pinch hit for the first baseman Lee. First pitch he sees of this at bat is a strike. This one's foul. Does Parker Crystal have a play on it? No, he doesn't. It's out of play. Oh, and 2 is the count. Rio nods his head in approval of the sign. Comes home. That's a slider, really good one, but misses just upstairs. 1 and 2. That one rings him up on the inside corner. Another crooked K there. Rio, he strikes out the side, swinging, looking, and he is dealing so far today. That is 3 scoreless innings, and he's been 3 up, 3 down in all 3 of those innings. Great work from him, and the A's put up to bat. Crabgrass band playing Britney Spears Toxic in between innings there. Here comes Luke Nevada up to the plate. First pitch is chopped foul on the ground. 0-1. Umpire was adamant to make sure the catcher knew that. Nevada's first at bat, he flew out to left field. Interesting to note here, the Athletics are 5 batters ahead of the Crabs in their lineup, but yet nothing to show for it as of yet. That ball was taken outside. 1-1 is the count now. This one is skied out to right center field, but this ballpark's going to hold it, and the center fielder is going to hold it in his glove for out number 1. Luke Reese steps in now with 1 down. First time up, he's struck out. His first pitch is taken for a ball, just a bit too high from Zazueta there. Quickly on to his second pitch of the at-bat. Zazueta fires it, but low in the dirt. 2-0. Chopped, but this one's going to be foul. 2-1. Interesting here, little hints of fog coming in, but I don't believe it's going to be pushing in here this early in the afternoon, but it is lingering in the sky. 3 swings and misses there, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch is up in the air. Who's got it? First baseman, second baseman. It's the second baseman. And 2 down now for the A's. So after fly out to center field and a pop out to second base, Brian Sanders coming up. He flew out to center field his last time up. Was a long shot to one of the deepest part of the ballparks here. His second at bat starts out with him swinging, but this one's foul. Sisueda's 0-1 pitch swung on and missed 0-2. Here we go, 0-2. That one misses outside 1-2. Everybody in the field seems to be playing straight up to the true position. Swung on and missed on a pitch outside in the dirt. Sanders hustling down the first, but that throw's going to be in time. And that is a quick one. Just way to end the Caps defense. So we'll rotate to the bottom of the fourth. The team still looking to be the first one to score.
We're back to the top of the friends. Shooting more.
Bottom of the fourth, top of the lineup for the Crabs. 2 up here, 1, 2, 3. And things are going to lead off here with the leadoff hitter, Morris. Last time Morris was up, he grounded out to the first baseman, Crystal, who took it himself to the bag. Rio is cruising right now through this game, but that one is chopped well down the left field line. Ramirez can't get it. It lands on top of the batting cage out there in foul ground. I'm going to go ahead and loosen up the knob for being able to swivel the camera horizontally. That way I can pan the camera for y'all on any future balls that are hit in that direction. So after that, 0-1's the count. Morris digs back in. Rio shaking his head no. Now he says yes. Here comes his 0-1 pitch, swung on once again by Morris, and this one's out of play. Once again, a favorable count here for Carrillo, looking for yet another punch out. That's not going to be it, though. First base hit of the game drops right in front of Mikey Ramirez. So after three shutout innings, three perfect innings, that is, with no base runners on, Morris gets it going for the Crabs here with a single. After that leadoff single, catcher Forsythe up to bat. First time up for him. He struck out swinging. Morris already getting an early lead over there, but leaning back towards first to be on the safer side. Rio's first pitch in the dirt. Morris will hold up at first base. Wiping my screen momentarily, folks, to try and have better visibility. There we go. That's a bit better. Anyways, 1-0's the count. Long pause there on the mound, but now Carrillo brings it home and gets a curveball right by him, 1-1. It's 1-1 count. It is. Morris is getting a little further off of first base there. He is near the corner cut of that first base. There goes Morris down, and Rodriguez throws it down. That one's high. Safe. Might have had him that throw a little bit lower, but Morris shows off the wheels there and steals second base. Call on that one was a ball, so 2-1 is the count to Forsythe. Hitters count with a runner in scoring position. Crabs are looking. Strike first. Rios fires a strike in there, 2-2. Couple of looks over at second, now comes home. Curveball in the dirt. There goes Morris. He's going to have to pull a base on that one. Call on the pitch was certainly a ball, so 3-2. Full count here for Forsythe, and an even better an even better opportunity for him now with Morris at third base. That pitch is inside, ball 4. He's at the 2 outs.
Second baseman, and Sewell.
First at bat for him, he flew out to right field. As mentioned previously, this is his first start, so great opportunity for him to make an impact here in his one start this weekend. We'll see if Forsythe takes off for second with that corner situation. He's staying put. First pitch called a strike. Well, with the score being 0-0, Athletics will likely be willing to give up that run at third. for a double play here to get 2 outs. Fouled back into the screen, 0-2. Yeah, that sort of situation I was just talking about almost seems like one of those fair trade things. It's, we'll give you a run if you give us 2 outs. But we'll keep an eye out here and see if Forsythe is going to try and take second. If he does, that completely wipes that situation off the table. He's leaning towards first, not looking to go, and he will stay put. This one is hit very well out to left field. Is Harris under it? Yes, he is, but that is going to be passed.
That's number 16, right fielder, Dan Enyar.
Forsythe stays at first, and the Sewell gets the sacrifice fly out to left field. First run of this ball game, and it's something the Crabs have been doing very well with this series. They've been able to just make good baseball plays in regards to just getting that ball in play to be able to score in a run. Now Forsythe's on the move, going down to second. Throw high once again by Rodriguez, and he is in there throwing base. Might be an injury here with Forsythe, though. We'll take a look. Coach is out there with him. Stays put at home. Forsythe is stretching out his neck there a little bit, but looks like he will stay in the game. That rates this team. The injury concern. So Creo resets here, grab the rosin back there a little bit. Now he's ready to go. So is Enyart, the right fielder. He's digging in now with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. And this one's blasted a ton out to left. Field. And the Crabs have opened this one up in the 4th inning. 3-0 is now the score. First pitch to Moss is a strike. He's been a mixed bag this series. He has the grand slam that we've talked about, but also has been prone to striking out a lot. And we see that potential right there as he swings through that one 0-2. And this one's hit a ton too, out to right field, but it's going to stay in the ballpark. Ree's got it. Those two sluggers are almost looking for back-to-back action there, but Moss just hits a line drive right to Ree for the out. So now 2 down finally in this inning, and here is the new batter, lefty, laying down the bunt. Very good bunt. Carrillo slides, throws over to first. Fantastic play, but the umpire says Cristall's foot came off the bag. Carrillo made a fantastic sliding attempt there on that, and good throw, but it was just a little too high for Cristall to keep his foot down. And Coach Wyatt Featherston's going to have a talk with the umpire here. He might not be too happy here with this one. We'll zoom in here, see what happens with this. That was just a quick little talk. So after that quick intermission, that is a infield bunt single, that is, for Peraza. Here comes the first baseman, Lee. Last time he was up, he was in a 3-0 count and then ended up striking out. Rio's first pitch upstairs, ball one. Pitch inside, 2-0. Long pause from Carrillo on the mound. Here he comes. That is the first strike of this at bat. Runner on the move here, and this one bounces in front of Rodriguez. Good block from him. Didn't really matter either way. Peraza had second base easily on that one. More cheers coming out from the Crabs fans here today. They seem to be the most energetic, I would say, out of all three of these games in terms of their verbal jokes and jeers. That's in the dirt, ball four. Second walk of this inning for Carrillo, and he's just looking for any way for this to end. One batter away from, scratch that, 2 batters away from batting through the order. First pitch in there called strike 0-1. New batter is Hamilton, the left fielder. Peraza at second, Lee at first. Carrillo's 0-1 after a couple of looks at second base on the way. Slider in there, strike 2. Carrillo 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. He could use it. A's could use it. There it comes. Swing and a miss. There we go. A's are out of this inning, but not before the Crabs end up and it makes you see and it yards 2 to make it 3-0 as we go to the top of the 5th.
Raising the 44 catcher, Julian Rodriguez.
Top of the fifth now. A's looking to bounce back after giving up the first runs of this game, 3 of them in the bottom of the fourth, as Rodriguez smacks this one a ton, and it gets past the second baseman. Nice line drive base hit, and that is just what the doctor ordered for the A's to start off this inning. Rodriguez has been batted leadoff or been the leadoff batter twice in this game, and he has produced both times with the walk this time. See, top of the lineup, here we go. George Smith now, walk and a strikeout looking for him, looking to get his series going. Still hitless. First pitch to him is a ball, 1-0. Zezweda still the pitcher on the mound for the Crabs. Swing and a miss from George Smith there, 1-1. It's almost been a tale of opposite starts here for the starting pitchers. Zezweda started out rough with a lot of walks and having trouble finding the zone, lots of base runners, but he's held tough and the defense has had his back, and he is still scoreless in his outing. Opposite for Rio, though. He was perfect for 3 innings and lots of strikeouts, but 3 runs there in the 4th inning has him on the losing side of the decision so far. Smith has now worked the count 3-1. Zezweda has been fixated on base runners today. We'll see if he decides to check in on Rodriguez at any point here. That one was called a strike on the outside part of the plate, full count. Three-two is a curveball called strike 3. George Smith thought he had a walk, but instead he'll be walking back to the dugout, his second strikeout of the game. Two Ks for him on the day, and Tyson Miller now coming up. 0 for 2 today with a fly out to center, and he did reach base in the second at bat. That was an error by Morris. First pitch in there for a ball, 1-0. Zueda's pitch swung on and missed, blasted a heater right by him, 1-1. Miller certainly tried to take a mighty hack at that one as well, but came up empty. 1-1 pitch hit through the first and second base gap. Rodriguez goes to second. Miller to first, and there we go. Another base hit, piece of base hits together. Runners on first and second. That one was dangerously close to hit Rodriguez. If that was the case, that would have been a dead ball, and he would have been out, and Miller would have had first base.
Like the sponsor
Mikey Ramirez, the left fielder, is getting ready to step in. He is 0 for 1 today. He walked in the first inning, and a fielder's choice in the third. Mikey certainly has some of the coolest shades I have seen. And he's going to try and keep his cool here and deliver for his team. First pitch is a ball. The on-deck hitter is Hayes Edens. Double play is a possibility here. on any ball in the ground. Did he check his swing? Umpire, home plate umpire makes the call, says no, he didn't. 1-1. Sueda takes a peek at both runners. Now comes home. That one is too far inside. 2-1. So 2-1. Now the count is Sueda taking a couple peeks at Rodriguez. The second comes home. This one's outside, gets by the catcher, and the runners are going to move station to station. First time a base runner has been on third base for the Athletics. That is Rodriguez, and Miller's at second. And good situation for Ramirez at the plate here. 3-1 count and 2 runners in scoring position. To scratch that, actually, Rodriguez got to third base in the third inning, but he is the only base runner to get to third base for the Athletics, and he's done it twice today. Rodriguez takes, or goodness, Ramirez takes ball 4. Bases are juiced for the second time today. This was Sueda in a bit of trouble here. He was in a bit of trouble earlier in this game as well. That was in the third. And now he is facing Hayes Edens, the cleanup hitter, the DH. There is some action going on in the bullpen for the Crabs. Here comes the first pitch that Edens sees. It's in the dirt, ball 1. The second pitch is swung on and missed. Changeup got him out in front of that one. 1-1. Sueda now slowing down his windup in between pitches. It's a little more tense of a situation, I imagine. 2-1 is now the count to Edens. Edens struck out in the first inning and got on base. Hit by pitch. That's what that was. Hit by pitch in the third. Chops, but foul down the third base line. 2-2 is now the count, and a big moment early in this ball game for the A's to try and claw back some runs here after being down 3 runs. Base runners have not necessarily been the issue for them, but getting hits and cashing them in has. Pitch is down in the dirt, 3-2 full count. Payoff pitch versus Sueda's hit to the shortstop. This might be 2 and end the inning. Flip over to second. Here it is.
Maintaining the 2 hits, no errors, 3 after on base, the 4 main speed 0 down. And the 3 goes about in the 5th inning. We've got a game.
They had a great
third base
chance
chance.
there. Just like
Looks like this is
bases,
6 days. All right, kids,
and
check up.
Crabs are looking to extend their lead.
On your mark. Take set. Ooh. We're going to come. Now to Sacco's hands. The Humboldt crowds in the fourth, and his main hitter, Tucker Rogers.
Fifth Crabs looking to extend the lead. It is 9-1-2 Rogers, Morris, Forsythe here. Rogers is the DH. Has only been up once, and he struck out looking. Nathan Camarillo still on, or Nathan Carrillo, sorry, still on the mound for the A's. First pitch he fires in as a strike. Telling you, one of these days I will go through a broadcast with not saying Camarillo. Second one on the way. It is inside. It looked to be a curveball, 1-1. Tries a slider. It works on the outside corner, 1-2. One-two pitch on the way, swung on and missed, had him out in front of the breaking ball there. Strikeout, out number one. So although 3 runs were given up in the fourth inning there for Nathan, he has had a very good outing. He has 7 strikeouts. So after that strikeout, we're back to the top of the lineup. It's Morris, the hometown kid. Last time he was up, had a leadoff single to start things off in the inning as he fouls that one off 0-1. He was the catalyst for the Crabs putting the first runs on the board. He singled, Forsythe walked, sacrifice fly, catched in Morris. He was the first run of the game. And then after that was that 2-run shot out to left field onto the 101. This one high and outside with the heater. Excuse me if you heard the hiccup there. 1-1 is the count. Pitch dotted on the outside, strike 2. That looked like that might have been the fastest pitch of the game, and we are in the 5th inning. Things pretty much going on schedule here. Baseball games that I've seen with the Athletics have been taking close to 3 hours here recently, and 4.5 innings in, it is an hour and 30 minutes of game time so far. That one was chopped foul by Morris. It is 1-2. Stepping back into the box. And once again, there's that routine, cerebral approach to get back into the batter's box. 1-2 pitch on the way. It was hard. It was fast. And Morris touched it just enough to stay alive. Rio not messing around. Morris takes his time getting in the box, but he is ready on the mound to try and strike him out. Into his windup, 1-2 on the way. Chopped over past Carrillo. Sanders tries to backhand it. He can't. That will likely be ruled an infield signal there.
Boy, look at you. There's nothing for you to do, 5. Leo Forsyth.
Morris takes first base. Forsyth up to the plate. He's the catcher for the Crabs. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but he walked last inning and scored the second of 3 runs. We'll keep an eye on Morris. We know he can fly. Takes a big secondary lead, gets back to the bag, though. That pitch from Carrillo was way up high, 1-0. A's would certainly like a double play ball here. Keep an eye on Morris, though, to see. Yep, there's the throw over to first. Bringing up the pitch count here for Carrillo. He's at 77, so still could go another inning if he got a double play here, 2 quick outs, but this could potentially be the final inning of work for him. Morris is on the move. That one bounces in front of Rodriguez. No throw there, and second base is Morris's. So after that stolen base from Morris, 2-0 is the count. Morris keeping a steady. Now he's getting a big secondary. Now he moves back. Throw on the or pitch on the way. It's foul. Does Crystal have it? No, it's just out of play. 2-1 is the count for Forsyth. Middle infielders are very far away from that second base bag, so Morris might feel inclined to get a pretty healthy lead here. Sanders is now creeping in to potentially cover. Rio is now set in the stretch. Sanders quickly runs over to second. Couple pump fakes. I think Rio's going home. Yes, he is. Bends a curve in there for a strike, 2-2. So the aforementioned double play possibility is off the board with Morris swiping second. Here comes the throw. Morris, healthy secondary lead, but does not take off the third. That pitch was called a ball. It's a full count. Rio taking a while to look for a sign. Now he's got it. He's set. Here comes the payoff pitch. It is hit. Is it going to be fair? No, it's foul, and Crystal can't get to it. So we will do it again on 3-2. Trio sets once again, 3-2 the count. Morris at second. Forsyth at bat. Here comes the payoff. It's chopped over to the third baseman, Devon, but it gets off the heel of his glove. He makes an error. So E5 there. Athletics defense not helping out Carrillo right now. It would have been a tough play with Morris, but Sanders had the potential to barehand it. He up with it, and Devon right there at base had that ball bounce right off the heel of his glove. So runners on first and second, one out, but the forced double play is a possibility here for the Athletics to escape this inning. Batter is Sewell. First pitch he sees is called a ball. Sewell, the second baseman, has flied out to right field and a sacrifice fly to the left to cash in Morris as the first run of this ball game. That was last inning. And Mario is set, taking a couple peeks at Morris. Now comes home. That was some hard stuff, but it misses 2-0. Hitters count with one out. Runners on first and second. Good situation for the Crabs to get some more runs. Chops to Sanders. Are they going to turn two? Throws over to Smith. Out is the call. Oh, runner is caught in a pickle here. That's Morris, but Smith throws the ball too late. There goes. Wow. So the runner's out at second. And Sewell line. There was no play to be made at first, but Morris was was getting a little greedy going down the third base line trying to score and was confident with it, but then he decided to just go for it to go home, and the throw from George Smith was too late. Morris scored. That was a lot to digest there. But that's yet another run for the Crabs. Bounces this one 5 feet in front of Rodriguez. It gets by him. That is easily second base for Sewell. Enyard is the batter. He's the right fielder. He had himself a 2-run home run last inning. Potential to do it here again. Another one spiked in the dirt. Rodriguez blocks this time, 2-0. Two-zero pitch, misses upstairs, 3-0. There is somebody warming up on the mound for the Athletics. Oh, with 2 outs, Carrillo looking to get that last out to cap off his start today. Here's the pitch, 4-pitch walk. Enyard takes his base. Back-to-back bases. Yeah. Center fielder, Boss, it's now coming in. Crystal looks like he was calling Rodriguez over to have a little bit of confidence down. Just work on this one batter and get out of this inning. Mound meetings ready to get back to playing football here. Moss, the center fielder who digs back in, strike out and fly out to right field for his day. Runners on first and second, 2 out. Rio searching for one more out to get out of this one. Chopped foul by Moss 0-1. It's the battle of the sixes here. Rio, number 6, and Moss, number 6. Second pitch in the dirt. Good block by Rodriguez to keep the runners at bay, 1-1. Well, what was a quick-paced game has slowed down here precipitously in the last 2 innings. Still in the bottom of the 5th. Chopped foul by Moss, 1 and 2. Cruised through 3 innings, scoreless both teams, and then 3 runs in the last inning with Enyart's bomb and a sacrifice fly. And 1 run has cashed in so far, but base runners keep crowding the bases. 1-2 is the count. 1 pitch will get the A's out of this little jam. And there it is, swing and a miss. Moss goes down swinging. And that is the end of the inning. Another run. So they are nothing as we go to the top of the 6th.
Last call for 50-50 if you want to. From Humboldt from San Jose State University, number 20, Wade Mounts. Making the pass, Fresno A's in the 34, Tucker Casal.
6, Parker Cristall leading things off for the A's. New pitcher on the mound. For the Crabs, I will certainly get his number for you as soon as I can. This one is blasted a ton out to right field, but right fielder has the jump on it, and that is in the first out of this inning. 1 pitch, 1 out. Luke Nevad now coming up for the Athletics. Not seeing a. Oh, here we go. Instead of a 2-0, it says ZO here. At least that's what it looks like on their roster for the Crabs. Looks like Mouts is the pitcher for the Crabs. Comebacker from Nevada goes right to the pitcher. Nevada is upset about that. Made great contact on it, but pitcher was quick to react, and that is 2 outs in this inning. Pitch count looking stellar here for Mouts. As Luke Ree stepping in. First pitch in there for a strike. Second pitch, foul tip off the catcher's shoulder, it looks like. A little bit of a stinger there for him, 0-2. Umpire takes a walk out to the mound to get the pitcher the glove, the pitch of the ball, that is, just to give the catcher a breather. Rotating the arm, trying to stretch it out, shake it off. He's back down in the squat he's ready to go. Ree is as well, stepping back into the box, 0-2, count on him. Bounces pitch on the way. It is a slider that's popped up a ton. Who's got it? First base or second baseman? It's the second baseman. That is a very big one. Well, not this inning necessarily. They've had their chances, but can't cash in. That's been a theme of this series. Crabs coming back up to bat in the bottom of the sixth, looking to put this one in reach.
Mountain Hayes from Humboldt State University, number 32, Zach Geis.
Bottom of the sixth, new pitcher on the mound for the Athletics. It is Zach Geis. So that will conclude Nate Carrillo's day. Nate Carrillo's day. And a mixed bag for him. He had a lot of punch outs in this one, but those 2 innings ended up costing 4 runs, and now the A's trying to claw back in yet another one. We'll look at his last. It's 4 runs, 3 of them were earned, but those 8 strikeouts were certainly impressive. Geis's first pitch there was fouled away, 0-1. Second pitch called a ball, 1-1. Leadoff batter for the Crabs in this inning is the shortstop Perazo. He has grounded the second and had a base hit in the fourth inning. Second pitch down in the dirt, 2-1. Two-one pitch, foul back. 2-2. Guy's looking for his first out of his outing right here. 2-2 pitch on the way. Breaks a curveball in there on the outside part of the plate. Nice one down. Crooked K for Perazo and one up, one down for Dice. Space lead bat for the Crabs. He has struck out and walked in this game so far, so 0 for 1 on the day. First pitch was a slider in the dirt. Rodriguez scoops it up effortlessly and throws it back to Geis. This one smashed a ton, but way foul out of play. That might be a car. Hard to tell. It was so far down the road. If he had straightened that one out, that could have been a Oppo Taco home run right there. 1-1 the count. Dots a fastball on the outside corner, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch, chopped foul. Guys tried to slow him down there and was just able to get a piece of it. Lee's swing was certainly too early, but stays alive. One-two pitch once again. This slider misses outside and low. 2-2. Upstairs with that one, and Lee has worked the count full. Grabs some dirt, rubs it in his hands. He's ready to go. So is Geis as he shakes his head yes and gets set. Coming down the hill, 3-2, upstairs with the fastball. Appeal down the first. No, says Space up. Interesting day for him as in his first in the count 3-0, then ended up striking out. And in this walk, he was down in the count and ended up working the walk. Lee settles in at first. The left fielder Hamilton now up to bat. First pitch to him is popped up, but this one's going to be out of play. That one was near the condiment section for the snack bar, but I heard it hit concrete, so thankfully all good to go. Council 1 to Hamilton. Pitch is chopped, fair ball in between Crystal and Sanders. Ree on the run for it, throws it in quickly. Runners will hold up at first and second.
Malone. You got it going. Next up in the ground, Harper Rogers.
Second, the 9-hole hitter DH Rogers now up to bat. 0 for 2 with 2 Ks today. Looking to change that here and extend the Crabs' lead. Curveball dropped in there for a strike from Geis. Geis comes set, takes a peek over at second. Now coming home and is thrown behind the batter. They're going to advance. Wow, you hardly ever see that. Pitch slipped out of his hand so much that it ended up going behind the right-handed batter's back. So now 2 runners in scoring position, 1-1 count to Rogers, and a great opportunity to put this game out of reach. That one is dotted on the outside part of the plate, 1-2. His 1-2 pitch is blasted up the middle. Sanders did not get it. That one took a short enough on him. Gets the outfield. Let's never get one, but here's the second one. He's in. Big behind single fingers. And it is now 6-0 Rams. Still only one out in this inning. Rogers is at first base after his 2 RBI single, and here he is, top of the lineup, Morris. He has scored twice today with 2 singles. First pitch he sees is outside, 1-0. Guys taking a couple peeks over at Rogers, comes home. This one is a curveball that slips out, misses high, 2-0. Count is 2-0. Geis comes home. Fires a strike there on the outside part of the plate, 2-1. So Crabs now with 7 hits and the A's just 2. Those hitting gremlins continue to bother the A's. Swung on and missed from Morris. That's a rare sight this weekend. 2-2 is now the count. Strangely enough for the A's, though, with the lack of hitting, they have still been able to manufacture base runners with walks, a couple hit by pitches and stuff, but they've just been unable to get hits and with runners in scoring position. And Morris hits yet another one, his 3rd hit of the day. He'll hold up at first. Rogers goes to 3rd, and the train just keeps on chugging along the tracks for the Crabs. Morris having a Pete Rose day here with a lot of hits, but they are singles. Still only one out. Forsyth is the batter. strikeout, walk, and reached on an error from Luke Navad. Next inning. Double play ball is in contention here. First pitch dotted for a strike, 0-1. Geis gets set now. We'll keep an eye on Morris. He has shown, yep, there we go. Geis over to first. Morris is safe, but was just going to mention Morris has shown that he likes to run, and he is pretty good at it. He wriggled his way out of a potential pickle last inning and ended up scoring. That was the sole run of the fifth inning. Last 3 innings for the Crabs, 1-2 run, and that's why you see that 6-0 deficit for the Athletics. Count is now 1-1. Forsythe is ready to go. Staying loose, wiggling that bat around. Geis taking his time. Now he throws it. This one's fouled into this. Morris on the run, but it doesn't matter. Geis's breaking ball slips out of his hand, hits Forsythe, so hit by pitch, he'll be space. Bases are now juiced for the Crabs. It's still only 1 out, and head pitching coach Ethan Gunter is going to go take a visit with his relief pitcher, Geis. Well, I mentioned that the Crabs were looking to put this one out of reach. Now they're just looking to blow it wide open with runners in scoring position and only 1 out. Coach Winter said what he needed to say. He's heading back to the dugout. See if Geis is able to settle down here. It's been 5 straight base strikeout looking, walk, single, 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 and hit by pitch. Sewell's now the batter. He has flown out to right field. He had a sacrifice fly for an RBI that scored Morris for the first run of this ball game, and also had a fielder's choice in the 5th. First pitch that he sees in this 4th at bat is a ball 1-0. Second pitch, too low, 2-0. Geis gets set, coming home. Strike low and inside. Good pitch on that one, 2-1. Two on pitch, swung on and missed. 2-2. Geis is back into this count. as you guys will be keeping things low in the strike zone here to try and induce a double play if the ball is put in play. There is the 2-2 pitch. It is low, and it is swung on and missed. Strikeout. Sewell goes down swinging. And now there are finally 2 outs after 5 straight base runners reach base. And it's now coming up. He is the home run king of this series and the home run hitter for today. 3 home runs in this series, including that 2-run jack in the 4th inning. First pitch in their first strike. The Crabs fans are now starting to stomp on the stands to try and rattle guys off the mound. Oh, 1 pitch is down in the dirt. One is the count. Guys now gets set. Here comes the pitch. It's a slider hit foul. So 1-2 is the count. Guys get set once again. Base is juiced. 1 strike away from being out of this jam. Foul once again. That one's on top of the fire building. Pretty cool to see all these sorts of signs that the Crabs fans have here for what happened with the foul ball. The ones that are sitting at the top of the first base side bleachers are almost, I guess, lookouts to see where these balls are going. And I've seen all sorts of different hand signals to indicate what happens when the ball hits the ground. This one's chopped to Nevada at third. He'll touch up third base. And the A's are out of the jam here. And they win big 6-0 as we go to the top of the 7th.
Fresno A's players and to present the opponent's #1 fan with an autographed ball.
Top of the 7th, Sanders is the first batter for the Athletics. He takes the ball outside. Sanders is one of 4 batters that are still hitless in this series. Foul tip into the glove. Strike one. Athletics could use a jump here from the bottom of their lineup. Julian Rodriguez has been doing his part from the 9-hole. That one's looped in there for a strike. But the other batters have not. Moving Rodriguez from the equation, the 6, 7, 8 batters have not gotten on base. No hits, no nothing. That pitch is a ball, 2-2. Anyways, Rodriguez is 2 for 2 getting on base. He's 1 for 1 at the plate with a single. That was in the 5th inning. And he walked in 3rd inning. Did he go? First base umpire says no, so that will be a full count. Anyways, we're moving Rodriguez. These 3 batters are 0 for 8, pending what Sanders does here to lead off the 7th. There's the pitch. It's blasted out to center field pretty well. It has the center fielder running, backpedaling, but he's got it wrapped in his glove. That's an out. So 1 out, and here comes Julian Rodriguez. As we just mentioned, 1 for 1 with a single. He is the only base runner to have reached 3rd base twice for the Athletics. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. Mounts is still the pitcher for the Crabs. His second pitch in the dirt, 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Rodriguez blasted up the middle. Will the shortstop get there? Peraza does. Eat it up. Throws. It's a first. Nice clean play there for out number 2. So with 2 outs, George Smith, the one-hitter, is up to bat. One of the other hitters that are still seeking their first hit in this series. He walked in the 1st inning and stole a base, but ever since then, 2 strikeouts looking. First pitch, Smith sees, curveball drops in there for a strike. Second one, slider misses way outside in the dirt. It was yanked, 1-1. On one is fouled. Still in the ballpark, but out of play. One and 2 is the count. Mounts is set, coming home. Smith swinging to miss, his 3rd strikeout of the day. This time, the first one to be speaking. It is the Athletics. They go down, and it is the 4th time they have gone down in this game. Still a little bit of time left. 2 innings to go. 2 more chances for Athletics to score some runs, but it just seems they're not going to be able to put it together this weekend. Crabs are up big, 6-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th.
Last call for alcohol. Bottom of the seventh inning, batting for the crowd, number 6, Sutter Moss.
Bottom of seventh, Sutter Moss leading things off for the Crabs, looking to extend their lead even further. Surprised me if this team's motto is no mercy like Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid. Anyways, that first pitch was a ball, 1-0. Chops, this one's in play. Geist will field it, throws it over to first. Easy out, number 1. Start things off here in the bottom of the 7th. Well, even though things are trending towards a loss here for the A's today, they will be a couple of innings here. Just feel good innings. 1, 2, 3 inning right here. Great for Geist and defense. After that ground out to Geist, it is the shortstop Barrazo up to bat. First pitch to him is fouled out of play, 0-1. Never mind, caught the top of the screen, rolls into fair grounds. Of course, that's still a foul ball. Umpire retrieves it. The 0-1 pitch does not catch the outside corner. Tried to loop it in there. 1-1. Pitch does dot the outside corner. Very interesting. Looked like it was about the same in terms of the location on the plate, but the looper did not get the call that straight stuff did. 1-2 is the count. It is chopped towards Parker Crystal at first. He tosses it over to Geis, and there is out number 2. To the pitcher, ground out to the first baseman, and that'll lead to Lee stepping in here for Crabs. Strikeout walk and another walk for him. He scored in the 6th inning, 1 of the 6 runs for the Crabs on the day so far. First pitch, outside corner, strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch is in there. That was off speed. Strike 0-2. One strike away from 1-2-3 inning for the first time since the 2nd inning, it appears. 3rd inning, that is. And there it is. Swing and a miss. Geis gets him in order. 2 ground balls. Strike it off. Top of the 8th inning. Athletics have a daunting task ahead of them if they want to come back and win this thing down by 6 with only 6 outs to go.
Please get ready for your ticket. It is a pink ticket. The pink ticket with the number 758-409. We have a winner.
Attendance is 714.
Attendance.
Number 4, Tyson Miller.
Attendance was just announced 714 people at the ballpark today. Nice number for a small town with a very nice ballpark. Arcata Ballpark right here along the 101 freeway next to City Hall. Very pretty. The leadoff batter for the A's is Tyson Miller. First pitch was a strike. Now this one is a ball, so 1-1 is the count. That one upstairs causes Miller to move out of the way a little bit, but no danger to hitting him. 2-1. Mounts is still the pitcher for the Crabs. We'll see if he tries to go the distance here with the lead. Miller has worked a 3-1 count here, steps back out, resets, gets back in. Here comes 3-1. It's way inside, and that is leadoff walk for Miller. So good start for the A's. Rally ambitions here in the 8th inning with a walk, but they are really going to need to piece together some base hits here. That has been hard to come by today. 2 hitters so far for the pitching staff. Mikey Ramirez is the batter now for the A's. Walk, fielder's choice, and another walk, so 0 for 1 on the day. Mounts is set on the way outside, ball 1. Can't tell from here, but Mounts looks to be a very tall ball player. I'm going to be curious to see if I can find this here, but he is towering on that mound and stretching pretty far down the bump. That pitch was inside. 2-0 is the count. Mikey Ramirez. His 2-0 pitch swung on and missed by Ramirez. 2-1. This one fouled off the top of the pole in the backstop. 2-2 count now to Ramirez. Yep, here we go. Mounts is 6'7", 240. That is a big guy, no doubt about it. So 2-2 the count. On the run is Miller. He has second base, but Ramirez strikes out on the swing. One down now. Here comes the DH Edens. First pitch, he sees roped in between the third baseman and shortstop. That's a base hit. Miller is at third base. Eden settles in at first. A little bit of action here for the A's. They got runners on the corners with Parker Cristall coming up to the plate. Parker is 0 for 3 today, 2 ground outs, and a fly out to right field. Yet another situation the A's find themselves in where you just put a ball in play and you should be able to scratch a run across. But they have struggled to do that. That was strike one to Cristall, and Eden's hit right there. That was the third hit of the game for the A's. Mounts pitch way outside. Good block by the catcher, though. It's 1-1 is the count to Cristall. Here comes the pitch in the dirt, bounces in front of the plate, but yet another good block by the catcher. Mounts is making that catcher work back there, and he's been a little bit wild with his location. And he finds himself in a bit of a jam here, but gets a swing and a miss out of Cristall right there, 2-2. Got him with the slider on that one. Good pitch, good location. The 2-2 pitch is yet another slider swung on and missed. That's a strikeout. But even if it was in the dirt, he cannot advance to first because there's a base runner occupying that bag with less than 2 outs. But now there is 2 outs after that strikeout. Strikeout bounce in this inning. Luke Navad coming up to the plate. 2 down, runners on the corners. First pitch, Navad sees is a slider that gets in there for a strike. The 0-1 pitch is a ball. Navad was able to lay off there. That's the count. Miller at third, Eden's at first. Pitch on the way, chopped down the third base line. Great play by Morris. Is the throw going to beat Navad? No, it's not. So that is a run. First run of the game in. Boy, that was a heck of a stab by Morris there at third base, but it just took him out of the play there. So that's an infield hit for Navad. RBI on that one as Miller comes in to score. Edens is at second. And finally, in the 8th inning, a run in for the A's. First pitch popped up by Luke Ree. It's in the infield. Shortstop has that one done and dusted. End of the inning. Runner left on base for the A's, but they do cash one of them in. That's Miller on that Luke Navad infield single. The A's are still down. Just ain't going to cut it. They're down 5, and the Crabs have one more chance to add some extra runs on the board tonight. First pitch there was fouled off as we start the bottom of the 8th inning. Geis is still the pitcher on the mound for the A's, and Hamilton is the leadoff batter. The Crabs, first pitch strike, second pitch strike, swing and a miss, 0-2. After a tough first inning for Geis, he has settled things down here. Last inning went 1-2-3, and right now 0-2 count to Hamilton to start things off. 0-2 almost gets Hamilton to commit. They appealed down to first base, but no way did he go. First base umpire agrees, and 1-2 is now the count. One-two pitch, dotted on the outside corner. Strike three with the hard stuff. Got him looking, and one down. Well, we've talked about how much the Crabs have been able to hit and take advantage of situations where they've had a chance to score, but to be fair, they have struck out a lot in this series. Taking a look at today, there is, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Looks to be 11 strikeouts on the day. That is quite a lot. Do believe they struck out 11 times as well in the first game, but that was a bit redundant as they just piled up the runs on Friday, 14-0. Geis's pitch right there was a strike. It's 1-1. DH Rogers is the batter. That pitch is outside in the dirt, 2-1. Pitch dotted down the pipe, fastball, strike. Infield playing pretty deep here. They are on the cut of the grass with the outfield. 2-2 pitch from Geis is outside, misses his mark on the fastball, full count. Take a look at Rogers' day. First two at-bats, he struck out, but then came up with a big 2 RBI single in the 6th inning. 3-2 pitch, it misses downstairs. That's ball 4. Take your base, Rogers. And there he is. Morris, the third baseman, coming up, hometown kid. He's just been doing everything and been everywhere. 3 singles for him today. He scored twice. And yeah, just the series has been a contributor. Not only with his glove, but also with his bat and also with his speed on the base paths. So runner on first, 1 out for him. He's looking to have a 4-hit day here. First pitch he takes way upstairs, 1-0. Second pitch of the at-bat fouled. Way 1-1. Morris taking his time as he does every time, getting back in that batter's box. Now he sets, he's ready. Grabs the bill of his helmet, grabs the jersey, and now is set with his back. Geis, couple peeks over at first, comes home, upstairs, outside, 2-1. A's want the double play ball just to get out of this inning and come up for their last at-bats to try and claw back somehow here with a 5-run deficit. Jam shot to George Smith, jumps up. Oh my goodness, he's out. Fantastic double play from George Smith there. He jumped up, caught that little soft liner with Morris, and on the way down from making that catch, throws it, snaps quickly over to first, and gets Rogers out. Fantastic play there. There's a double play I was talking about, but very unconventional there. But the A's will certainly take it. They're done with the bottom of the eighth. They're coming up top 9 with a hefty task ahead of them to try and get back into this spot. 6-1 is the score. Yeah, so up.
Number 30, Katie Silver.
So Mounts will not see out the end of this game, even though the Crabs are up fairly big here. Holberg is the new pitcher on the mound for the Crabs, and let me just say, in those warm-ups, he was throwing absolute gas. We'll see if he has anything else besides the heater, but that heater was mighty impressive. Looks to be another big guy as well for these Humboldt Crabs. Brian Sanders leading things off here. 0 for 3 today, a couple flyouts and a strikeout. First pitch he sees, swing and a miss at that heater up high. Digs back in. Goldberg ready. He fires. That's another heater for a strike. 0-2. I'm really curious how hard he's throwing because that ball is getting to the catcher's mitt ASAP. That one is upstairs, 1-2. He has gone all fastballs so far, but as mentioned, we'll see if he has any sort of off speed, whether it be a slider, a curveball, a changeup. There it is, curveball, but it was spiked in the dirt. First base umpire says Sanders did not go, so the count's even 2-2. 0-2, it's 2-2 now. Colberg looking to finish off Sanders. He doesn't there. That pitch is upstairs, 3-2. Seen a few instances of this today, being down in the count, then working it to a full count. Colberg's pitch is upstairs. Did Sanders go? First base umpire says no, so that is leadoff base runner here for the Athletics in the form of a walk. Colberg dialed up the heat on that one, but was just a bit upstairs. And of course, I've never seen this guy pitch until today, but a common theme with people that throw absolute gas is that there could be control issues in regards to location and pinpointing your fastball. First pitch upstairs, 1-0. Excuse me. Well, that is most certainly not Rodriguez at the plate. I think that might be Luke Shaheen pinch hitting. That one missed way upstairs and in. Yep, number 29. That would be Luke Shaheen. So a pinch hitter here. And Shaheen is in a 2-0 count here. Sanders is at first, stays there. That one is dotted for a strike, 2-1. Two-one pitch fouled way out of the ballpark. Almost hits the car passing by. So the count is 2-2. Sanders slowly creeps off first, and Shaheen just watches that heat blow right by him. Down the pipe, strike 3. All right, so one down, and George Smith coming up to the plate. Made a great defensive play there to end the 8th inning. But at the plate, can't quite say the same. It's been a walk to start the game, but 3 strikeouts since. That pitch was upstairs, 1-0. Colberg's 1-0 is fouled way out of the ballpark. It's 1-1 is the count as he resets, digs back into the box. Colberg looking for a sign. He gets it, looks over at Sanders for a second. Now comes home upstairs 2-1. This pitch, curveball in there for a strike. One of the very few curveballs we've seen of Colberg's innings so far. That one was a good one, dropping in. This one is a ball, 3-2. So potentially one pitch away from first and second, or potentially one pitch away from 2 outs, or potentially one pitch away from ball game on a double play. Foul, back to the screen, we'll do it again. A little surprised that I haven't seen Sanders take off for second. With them being down 5, you'd certainly think he'd try and get runners in scoring position as quick as you can. Anyways, that pitch is dotted right down the pipe. These A's batters are looking a little bit crossed up here. That heat is just so fast that they can't stick out the stick for an emergency hack, but they're afraid that they're going to get really slowed down by that curveball. And it's not a day to remember for Smith. It is a golden sombrero for him. 4 strikeouts, 3 of them backwards Ks. So A's down to their last out. There goes Sanders down to second. He's in there safely. Miller takes a first pitch ball. Tyson Miller is flied out to center field, got to first base on an error by the third baseman Morris. Do believe he walked in the 5th inning and walked in the 8th. And he was the only run scored for the Athletics up to this point. That last pitch he fouled off out of play, 1-1. This pitch downstairs, ball 2. Two-one pitch, curveball that hangs up way too high. And even that curveball from Goldberg looks pretty fast, to be fair. 3-1 is the count now to Miller. Miller takes upstairs, ball 4. That's his 3rd walk of the afternoon. So now runners on first and second, 2 outs. Mikey Ramirez digging in now. 2 walks for him, fielder's choice, and he struck out last time he was up. First pitch to Mikey is upstairs, ball 1. Second pitch he sees is way outside, ball 2. And timeout is called. I do believe this was from the catcher, just to give Kohlberg a breather and tell him to settle down because he is starting to lose control with that fastball. I mean, you've seen the stuff in this inning. When it's on, it's on. There's been the 2 outs in this inning have been strikeouts looking just because batters are getting overwhelmed by how hard that fastball is, but also are worried about him dropping in a breaking ball and them being too far out in front with their swing. But control has been an issue. 2 walks for him in this inning, 2 strikeouts in this inning. Mikey Ramirez is the benefactor of a 2-0 count, and he nearly gets nailed with some chin music there, 3-0. Trio pitches down the pipe, swung on by Ramirez, and back to the screen, 3-1. Over takes a little look at third base. That's Sanders at third. That comes back. That looked to be a really generous call from the umpire. That looked pretty dang high, but count is now even, 3-2. 3-2 pitch, swung on, foul. Fans starting to stomp their feet for potentially the last pitch of this game. Runners are going to be on the move no matter what. It is a full count, 2 outs. Here comes 3-2. It misses upstairs. Ball 4, bases loaded. And here's another timeout to go have a discussion with Colberg. We'll take a look down at the bullpen. Nobody's warming up. Nobody's warming up for the Crabs, so it's all on Colberg right now. Hayes Edens is now going to be the batter for the A's with bases loaded and 2 outs. This is the third time the A's have had bases loaded in this game. And I'm sure I sound like a broken record, but it's been very clean of the A's leaving runners on base. I'll have to do the math after this game to see just how many they have left on base so far. This pitch to Edens way upstairs, ball 1. Goldberg's still trying to dial in that location right now. That time he does, swing and miss on a pitch at the chest. Goldberg now working for the windup since bases are loaded. We'll see if that might help him out here at all or not. That pitch was up high and in, 2-1. This one, same location, up and in, 3-1. Fans are starting to groan a little bit at all the balls being thrown. Another pitch on the way upstairs. Ball 4, A's get a run on the board with a walk of Edens. I imagine the Crabs are going to start warming up somebody at this point. Sanders is the runner that scores. Miller's at third. Ramirez is at second. And with Edens' walk right now, he is at first. Parker Cristal is the tying run. This one's chopped to the shortstop. He fumbles it for a second, but throws it to second. That is the end of the game. Well, the A's were going to make it interesting on the box in the 9th inning. They fall short again. The final score 6-2. And they sweep this series of the A's. First game, a blowout, 14-0 last night. A's played a lot better of a game, but still fell short with a walk-off loss in the bottom of the 10th inning today. A lot of base runners on the base pass, but still unable to cash them in. Too many runners left on base to be able to ask for a win there. So after an 8 start to the season, A's, they have brought 5-3 here this weekend to the Crabs, and they will be looking to get back on the winning side of things this upcoming week. We are coming back to Chancey Park, our whole ballpark, for 6 straight games of baseball. We will be on the road tonight, travel home, and we'll be getting in pretty late tomorrow. And 6 straight days of baseball. Saturday, we'll have 2 games against Victory Baseball, a one-off with BSA, and then 3 straight games against AB Collegiate. First 5 games, Tuesday through Friday, will be at 9 a.m. And Sunday, actually, it's Tuesday through Sunday, pardon me. So Tuesday through Sunday games. Tuesday through Saturday will be 9 a.m. start times. Sunday, it's going to be 8 a.m., 1 hour earlier. And then we take April. It's going to be a hot day, June 16th. And then we have 2 games against the Sacramento Yankees. After that, we will have essentially a small summer break. So counting those up after tomorrow's off day, we have 8 games of baseball. That's going to be a heck of a schedule. How see in baseball, and hopefully the A's will get back on the track after this sweep up in Arcata, California. Beautiful day for baseball today, though. Beautiful ballpark, passionate fans, and a historic team, the oldest collegiate team in the nation. Thanks for the crash having us up here. Even though 3 games did not go our way, and send your thoughts and prayers as we're driving home today. It's going to be nearly 8-hour drive, so that'll be a lot of road time and getting later in the evening. We thank you as always for your support of A's baseball, for tuning in, watching us with our ups and our downs, our W's and our L's. And we will see you on Tuesday back here on Fresno Athletics BSB to watch 6 more games of A's baseball. Thank you very much. We will see you then.